If tales of love, betrayal, and jaw-dropping revelations are your kind of thing, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and become part of our storytelling circle. Now, let's dive in. I destroyed a decade-long marriage in the span of just 10 minutes. That's all it took. A single impulsive moment, and the life I had so carefully built with the man I once vowed to cherish forever began to collapse right before my eyes. And the most painful part? I watched it happen, fully aware, as though I had stepped outside of myself, witnessing the spark ignite, and choosing not to stop the blaze. Ethan and I? We weren't flawless, no couple is. But we had built our own language over the years, small routines that felt sacred. Mornings started with coffee shared in quiet before the kids stirred. Tuesday nights were reserved for greasy takeout. And across crowded rooms, we exchanged those wordless glances, half amusement, half pride, whenever one of our kids said something ridiculous or brilliant. It was the kind of ordinary magic that most people miss unless they're paying attention. And for a long time, I did appreciate it. Until one day, I didn't. It began with something that felt harmless, a business trip to Chicago. 3 days away. I even tucked Ethan's favorite pajama shirt into my suitcase because it still smelled like home. I felt bad leaving him to juggle the chaos of parenting solo for a few days, but if I'm being honest, part of me also felt relieved. Like I could breathe again for the first time in years. The hotel was upscale, marble floors, complimentary wine in the lobby, the kind of place that made you feel like someone else entirely. Lauren, my boss, insisted we attend the welcome mixer. That's where I first saw James. He was nothing like Ethan. Tall, magnetic, with a kind of calm confidence and a smile that made me forget about the stretch marks and the worn-out mom car waiting back home. He looked at me like I mattered. Like he saw me, not just someone's wife or someone's mother. We talked about everything, music, books, travel, and he actually laughed at my jokes. When the evening wrapped up, he walked me to the elevator. Just as the doors slid open, his fingers brushed mine. And I didn't pull away. That night, I stared at the ceiling from my hotel bed. I hadn't kissed him. There was no embrace. But something had already shifted inside me. The next day, we ended up in the same breakout session. We sat together, exchanged notes, had lunch. I knew I should have created some distance. I knew it would have been the right thing to do. But I didn't want to. And that's hard to admit, but it's the truth. That evening, we had dinner. Just the two of us. He opened up about his divorce, how his wife had stopped looking at him the way she used to, how he missed feeling wanted. I should have stopped it right there. I should have said, I have a husband. I have a family. But instead, I nodded and said, I understand. Then it happened again in the elevator. He leaned in and kissed me. It wasn't passionate or dramatic. It was slow, gentle, unnervingly familiar. And I didn't resist. I kissed him back. I wish I could say that's where I drew the line, that I remembered Ethan's face, our kids' laughter, the promises we made. But I didn't. We went to his room. 10 minutes. That's how long it lasted. That's all it took to unravel 10 years of love, partnership, bedtime stories, and shared grocery lists. 10 minutes to undo everything. When I returned home, something felt off. Ethan greeted me with a tired smile and a peck on the cheek. And I nearly broke down, not from guilt, at least not immediately, but from the crushing weight of what I had destroyed. For 2 weeks, I acted like nothing had happened. I cooked his favorite meals. I initiated intimacy. I clung to the routine, bedtime stories, school lunches, warm hugs. He noticed. He asked me more than once if everything was all right. And every time I said yes. I lied. Every single day. Guilt isn't a sledgehammer. It's a drip, slow, constant, corrosive. It comes when your daughter hands you a crayon drawing of your happy family. It creeps in when your husband absent-mindedly rubs your back during a movie. When he whispers, I'm proud of you. Then came the night he found the message. I had been careless. James had sent me a text. Nothing overt, but just enough. Can't stop thinking about last time. Ethan didn't yell. He didn't break down. He simply handed me the phone and asked, "Do you want to explain this?" And just like that, it all came undone. I told him everything. No excuses. No blaming alcohol or stress or circumstance. I gave him the raw, ugly truth, because it was the least I could do. He listened without a word. His hands trembled. His jaw was clenched so tightly, I could hear his teeth grinding. When I finished, he asked one question. "Do you love him?" I didn't. Of course I didn't. But I hesitated. That split second, that silence, it shattered something in him. He stood up, walked to our bedroom, and closed the door. I slept on the couch. By morning, he had packed a bag. He told me he needed space, that he wasn't sure if he could ever look at me the same way again. When our children asked why Daddy was staying at Grandma's, I said he needed a little vacation. A week later, he filed for legal separation. I begged. I sobbed. I wrote letters, poured my heart out. But something in his eyes was different. Closed. Hardened. We tried counseling. We went on dinner dates. But it always came back to that same unbearable question, why? And I never had a good answer. Why did I risk everything for someone I didn't even love? Why did I gamble our life together for a 10-minute lapse in judgment? Some days, I think I just wanted to feel alive again. Other days, I know it was pure selfishness. And then there are days when I wonder if I'll ever fully understand myself at all. It's been 7 months. The divorce isn't final yet. He sees the kids every weekend. He's civil, respectful, but distant. I still live in the house, but it feels hollow now, like a shell of what it once was. The quiet is heavier. The coffee's gone bitter. They say one moment doesn't define you, but this one did. Because in just 10 minutes, I became the villain of my own story. And I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself for it.